It's got that swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie. Jacen dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. The sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh, we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salut and welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, no, Netter's not actually here. She is actually elsewhere. She is working today, so I don't know why. Her icon still showed up in the chat, but there we go. Salute, welcome, happy Monday. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday. If you saw Liquid Lunch on Friday, you know what I'm sipping on. It is very, very chilly in the Midwest right now, so I really do have to keep warm. That's what I'm doing here today. So let me quickly say hi to everybody before we jump into what I've been musing on. Starting with Mark Melnikov, who says, Mech Paul, here I are. I claim the first place in the chat. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and become a member now. Thank you so much. Yes, you won the race, and you are here first. The love of my life. Working hard today. The downside to a vacation is you have to get caught up on the days that you the office was closed. The work piles up. So thank you so much for all you do to support me, Netter. You are wonderful. You guys should be so thankful to her because she is the one that really makes it possible for me to do what I am doing right now. But you can help too by liking, sharing, subscribing, becoming a member, leaving a comment, and especially by gifting a membership. This is the first of the month, and it always reminds me how important your your support is. Yes, for as little as $2 a month, you can become a member. Keep us alive over here, literally, and there are many benefits of membership, including the Monday night exclusive members only watch party called Members Night at the Movies. This week the members chose the movie they wanted to see. I was actually kind of surprised. We will be watching The Big Chill from 1983. This seems to be a 1983 week because on Saturday over on Big Al Presents, we are going to be watching another film from 1983. You'll find out more about that in the promo section. Hail to Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, ever faithful Blue Wrench, and founding member of the channel. Thank you so much for being here, Connie. You are absolutely wonderful. And Netter points out, yes, I am trying to reach 100 members by the end of the year, 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. You can help me reach that goal. I am discovering more and more how important it's going to be in the new year if I am to continue to know that this channel can be financially viable. Part of the topic we're talking about, Cyber Monday. I'm seeing prices in 2026 going up, and all the things that I do here, the platform that I use, the tools that I use to make these videos, the prices are all going up. So that means I make less and less and less. It is brutal. It really is. Let's see here. Jonathan Conroy says, "Hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show." Yes, I absolutely do. Hope that you all do that. He says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon to you as well, Jonathan. Good to see you. My Monday musing: the Klingon Empire knows best how to use gunboat diplomacy better to achieve its goals. Other empires, not so much. Yes, that's true. Tired Midnight Blogger Curtis Selby says, lunchtime. Yes, indeed it is. It is lunchtime, and it is time to get to our topic of the day. So Friday, we talked about Black Friday, and if I didn't specifically say it, I might have alluded to it. A prediction that I was making regarding Black Friday. I did touch on the concept of Cyber Monday and how I said that I probably said something to the effect of Black Friday is becoming less and less important as the cyber element of shopping is becoming more and more important. So the Cyber Monday is becoming more and more important. And I think the concept of it being Cyber Monday, the day specifically, is going to become less important. And here's why. I gave the backstory about where Cyber Monday came from. You went you had a 4-day weekend, so a lot of people celebrate Thanksgiving, and then Friday would be your day for holiday shopping, right? And you would hit those stores super hard, nowhere to park, traffic's a mess, the stores were crowded shoulder to shoulder. And we talked about how Black Friday, even before you started having Black Friday sales, the term Black Friday came from some East Coast police officers referring to the day as Good Friday because of this chaos they were seeing in the streets and in the shopping areas. So they started. The stores decided they'd start capitalizing on this phenomenon with the sales that they were doing. But as there is a shift now from brick and mortar stores to online sales, there started to be more of a focus on, instead of going and dealing with all that parking and, people getting brutal and stuff, just shop online. And we'll give you a short window of time to get these deals online. And then have everything shipped to you or shipped to the person you're buying the gift for or whatever. And it became Cyber Monday because they figured people would be at work, have access to a computer with internet, and you're doing your shop, because it was a phenomenon that people were doing a lot of their shopping online on Monday after Thanksgiving. Their heads were still in the holidays, which I am not advocating you ignore your work in order to do your shopping. That's actually no bueno, and if you get caught doing that, it's a good way to lose your job and not be able to do any shopping. But my speculation was that there was going to be a big shift away from Black Friday and start seeing the online deals starting as early as Friday and going all weekend. Well, sure enough, I started getting solicitations for Cyber Monday. And they were all saying the same thing. The deals from Black Friday are not done. We've been going all weekend, and you can still get them now online and in stores, they're saying. And in stores. Like, this is getting interesting. So I'm going to get to this article, which I haven't actually read yet, but my prediction for the future is we're going to go from Black Friday and Cyber Monday to a Cyber Weekend after Thanksgiving. I think that's what the trend is going to be going forward. Put a pin in that and see if that comes true in the coming years. So let's get to this. This one comes from the AP. Whatever you think about the AP, they've got they are capable when there's nothing terribly political or terribly biased to talk about. Oh man, that's good. Deals promoted as some of the best of the holiday season are expected to keep people across the United States glued to their computers and smartphones as the post-Thanksgiving shopping marathon wraps up on Cyber Monday. Wraps up. Again, that implies exactly what I was talking about. That whole Cyber Weekend concept. At least that's what I'm calling it. Hashtag Cyber Weekend. Get that trending. Tell them I started that. It's not secret that buying things online is now a staple of many people's everyday routines, and year after year those purchases mount during the gift-giving holiday rush. Experts expect customers to drive record Cyber Monday spending this year despite wider economic uncertainty. Yeah, see, they had to get their little political point in there, right? Adobe Analytics estimates that U.S. shoppers will spend $14.2 billion online Monday, or 6.3% more than 2024. I'm wondering if that's adjusted for inflation, or if inflation is part of the reason for that. Spending is expected to peak between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. local time, when Adobe expects $16 million to pass through online shopping carts every minute nationwide. Between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So that might imply that some of the Cyber Monday shopping is being done after work. So there's that. U.S. customers already spent $11.8 billion online for Black Friday, $6.4 billion on Thanksgiving Day. See, that's the other thing. You can do. You don't have to wait until Black Friday. If you can shop from home. So some people are doing their Christmas shopping on Thanksgiving from their computer, exceeding Adobe's forecast. Purchases made across Cyber Week, the first major shopping days between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, provides. So see, they're not even they're just bypassing Cyber Weekend. It's now Cyber Week. So there you go. The 5 major shopping days between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. Wow. So it's not just a weekend to them. They consider that a week because they're counting Thursday and Friday. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So forget my nomenclature. It's Cyber Week. Of course, we tend to think of a week Sunday to Saturday. They're thinking of it Thursday to Monday. Whatever. Cyber Week is off to a strong start. Vicky Pandya, lead analyst for Adobe Digital Insights, said, discounts are set to remain elevated through Cyber Monday, which we expect will remain the biggest online shopping day of the season and year. Wow. So it sounds like Black Friday did better than I had thought. Let's back up and take a quick look. Shoppers spend billions on Black Friday, snag holiday deals despite wider economic uncertainty. So again, they're pushing that, there's economic uncertainty, but people are still shopping like crazy. Kind of makes me wonder, how uncertain are people if they feel okay with spending their money? You keep saying that there's economic uncertainty, but the facts don't seem to bear that out. Or at least there isn't that perception in the market, right? Hold on a second. Before I step back to Black Friday, let's see what you guys are saying here. Because I know Mark's got insights on this. He works in retail. Black Friday, come buy our marked down overpriced crap, so you don't really need that we marked up before dropping the prices. Guess how I know? Yes, he's not just speculating. He's speaking from experience on the retail side. Black Friday and Cyber Monday is a retail psyop, as my dad used to say. A fool and his money are soon parted. Yes, that's absolutely true. But I will temper that slightly. If you go into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Week, whatever you want to call it, thinking that you're getting great deals, then you are being fooled. But I think that even if the prices never changed and there were no sales, people would still be buying a lot of the same stuff they're buying, simply because it's the holiday season and it's time to do their shopping. Big Al says, sorry I'm late. Nurse helping me get my tree up. Oh, well, that's good. We'll catch up on the replay. Did buy myself a Roku stick for 50% off. That has something to do with watching streaming shows, doesn't it? I don't know too much about how that works. And welcome to Booger. Good to see you. Black Friday and Cyber Monday have morphed into one blob-like weekend. Yeah, as I suspected that it was going to, or apparently it already has. My family has decided to make homemade gifts for Christmas this year. I used to think that was a cop-out until I started to really start getting into a lot of what I'm doing. And some of the videos that I do, especially on toys and stuff, are custom things that I've made because they don't exist otherwise. I have to make them in order to have the things that I want because the companies aren't doing it. Plus, you've got a lot of crafters out there on Etsy that are selling nothing physical. They're selling files, usually for very, very reasonable prices, just a couple bucks, because you're paying for their time and energy, and downloading a file so you can print out on a 3D printer these really cool things that people have come up with. It's actually kind of brilliant. So it's gotten to the point where the whole idea of homemade gifts has come around again. I'm seeing the value in that. Plus, there's all the warm fuzzies of all of this was made specially for me by this person, and so on and so forth. Little did we know that making cardboard and styrofoam forts for Star Wars figures would serve us well in years later. Yeah, because kids have always imagined the play sets they wanted and weren't getting and found ways to do it. Let me tell you, I made, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I had no help. I had no father in my life to help me, teach me woodworking and stuff. I wanted a Batmobile for my Mego Batman and Robin, and I ended up making the equivalent of a pine box, literally rectangular, with a piece of wood in it as a seat upright, painted it black, and that was my Batmobile. Didn't even have friggin' wheels on it. Nowadays, I can literally download the 3D files for the Barris Batmobile from the 66 series. Was it 66? Yeah, 66. And print it out and make a rather elegant looking. Because even all the toy companies, none of them have put them out in the Mego scale. They put them out in the 3 3/4 inch scale, the 6-inch scale. None of them are doing it in the 9-inch scale. Because then I might actually be interested in buying something from them. Welcome, Geek Flag with Nate Knows. He says, like, share, subscribe, comment, and become a member. And if you were going to give or make a super chat for $5 or more, why not make that a gifted membership instead, and potentially grow our family? I say potentially because the sad fact is, when you gift a membership, it's like a little bit of roulette, right? It's a bit of marketing, right? They used to say about direct mail marketing. If you send out, 1,000 direct mailers, and it responds, it results in a response of like 0.5%, that's considered to be a big success. In a way, it's kind of the same way with gifted memberships. If you give 10 memberships and one of them renews their membership, that's a huge success. I bought some used locomotives on eBay for the holidays. Julie and I agree they were affordable, and I'm becoming quite good at rebuilding them, cleaning motor brushes, rewiring, replacing gears, etc. Yeah, that's the other thing. People are becoming more and more self-sufficient. Culture Casino this week is going to be starting a new channel regarding gardening, and he's going to explain how to garden and how you can become more self-sufficient regarding the food that you consume. The goal being find ways to do for yourself and not count on companies to provide for you, because they won't. They absolutely don't. I had security cameras in my cart on Amazon for 3 weeks. The price is $59.99. Supposedly they are now 40% off. But interestingly enough, it's still $59.99. Nothing has changed. It's a scam. Yeah, probably is. Probably is. With Amazon, can you do like they do on eBay? Send a note to the seller and say, "Hey, what gives?" Because this price was $60 last week, and it's still $60, and that ain't 40% off of $60. You want to learn woodworking? I'm your father. Yeah, exactly. No, I have learned since little 8-year-old Troy built that goofy little box. I took woodworking in high school in shop class. I'm not sure that they still have shop classes in high schools anymore, but now that's why I am now making things like that Akmina's playset and whatnot, the cantina. And there you go. And we are caught up again. So let's get back to this article from the Associated Press, New York. Despite wider economic uncertainty hovering above this year's holiday season, shoppers turned out in big numbers for Black Friday, spending billions of dollars both in stores and online. I don't know what kind of uncertainty they're talking about because they don't specify. Let's see. Let's dig a little bit. Let's see what they're referring to as Black Friday arrives with solid momentum despite tariffs and economic uncertainty. Tariffs are not hurting anything. They're not. Those products are still coming through. It's just the companies, for the most part, the companies are eating those costs because that's how it is supposed to work. If they are benefiting from slave labor in their country and selling cheap crap to the United States and then importing it, and then suddenly they're hit with a tariff, well, they're already making as much as they're going to make on the product. If they raise the price, they get zero. So they eat those profits out of all those extra profits they've gotten from their slave labor over the years. So don't let anyone tell you that these tariffed products aren't still coming into the United States and are now unobtainable because you're paying for the tariffs. If you are paying for the tariff, if you are buying something from overseas and the price has gone up and they're telling you it's because of tariffs, don't buy from them, you dummy. I'm sorry, but you are making the problem for yourself. Don't blame any administration for it. Blame yourself for submitting to the companies that are taking your money. You are turning around and bending over and saying, take more from me, please, daddy company. Anyway, let's go back, because that's bullcrap. Adobe Analytics, keep going on the Adobe Analytics, which tracks e-commerce, said U.S. Customers spent more than $11 billion on Black Friday. This is all the same stuff that we just read in the other article. Meanwhile, software company Salesforce, I hate that. I hate Salesforce. I hate it. I hate it. Is it on my resume that says I know how to use Salesforce? You're damn right it does, because I helped implement it at a company. I know how it works. I know how to use it. Doesn't mean it's a good product. Which tracks digital spending from a range of retailers, including grocers. See, that's the real thing. You think as a company you're installing it to help your sales team and to smooth out your retail process. No, they're doing it so they can get your data. That's why they're doing it. Estimated that Black Friday online sales total. See, that's Black Friday online sales. You don't even have to go to the damn store now to get Black Friday deals. Actually, I guess I kind of demonstrated that on Friday with my slides that were showing all the articles that I got emailed to me from these various solicitations. They were all online deals for Black Friday. Estimated that Black Friday online sales totaled $18 billion in the U.S. and $79 billion globally. And e-commerce platform Shopify said its merchants raked in a record $6.2 billion in sales worldwide on Black Friday. At its peak, sales reached $5.1 million per minute, with top categories including cosmetics, clothing, according to the Canadian company. Again, I have a real problem with the way they're reporting these stats because they mean nothing. These sound like big numbers to you, and they tell you these are record numbers, but there's no qualifier. Is that record numbers because it's the same as last year effectively, but inflation has made it more dollars, a larger number, but, equivalency of exactly what it was last year? Did it maybe even fall off from last year, but because of inflation, it's a bigger number? They don't say that, so we don't really know. They also don't cite what last year's numbers were. So if we know what last year's numbers were, we can look at, the difference and say, well, you could adjust for 1 year's inflation last year, and it's still more and whatever. But, anyway. So my drink has cooled off a bit, so I can drink now. I am going to let you know what we've got coming up this week, including tonight. And then come back on the other side. We'll talk a little bit more about this. And I want to see your comments. In just 2.5 minutes. We'll be right back.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together. Every Monday night is Members' Night at the movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week, the members will be watching the 1983 landmark ensemble drama, The Big Chill. A group of 7 former college friends gather for a weekend reunion at a South Carolina vacation home after the funeral of another of their college friends. Become a member and join us tonight at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern on Last Call.
This week, on Last Call presents The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. A strange man on a bicycle follows a young music teacher as she bicycles on a lonely road to and from the city. Can Sherlock Holmes deduce why the woman is being stalked by the solitary cyclist? We'll find out. This week on The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Last Call Presents.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, a snobbish Wall Street commodities broker and a wily street hustler find their positions reversed as part of a bet by 2 callous millionaire brothers who run a brokerage house. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis star in the 1983 capitalist Christmas classic Trading Places. Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents Films with Friends.
In a world where nearly all the entertainment is remakes, reboots, and rehashes of older properties, maybe it's worth it to get some commentary from people who experienced it all when it was novel and fresh. Catch Boomer and Pacelli on Geeky Geezers every Sunday night at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
We now return to our liquid lunch.
So Booger says, I saw a video with someone who made a scale model of the Mos Eisley Cantina, sized for the figures, of course. Yes, and in short order, I will, well, I shouldn't say it, relatively speaking, short order, I will be doing a video about my own Hasbro Mos Eisley Cantina, which I haven't even unboxed yet. Should I make it an unboxing video? I don't know. I don't know that that's worth it. But there was, and I had done there is a video up on my channel about this. Hole in the Wall Productions did a 3D print and resin cast of his own version of the Mos Eisley Cantina, which I ended up getting, and parts of it became part of the Acmina Cantina. Plus, because it's so modular, I can use it for small standalone dioramas. I'm definitely going to do a single alcove that's just Han Solo and Greedo, completely separate from the rest of the Mos Eisley Cantina, and so forth. So yeah, absolutely. One reason I won't shop Black Friday, it supports slavery overseas and low wages over here. Absolutely true, but don't let that be the sole reason. I think that might be a bit of a sweeping generalization. While it is true, there is truth in that. Keep in mind that everybody is doing some sort of Black Friday thing, including local mom and pop shops. And if you are avoiding shopping with them because of this kind of a fear, that's kind of unfair, and you're missing out on some potentially good deals if they are in fact good deals. And keep in mind that is the whole point of the tariffs too. The tariffs and the strong stance on illegal immigration is because we have, for all of this, living wage, we all got to have a living wage. Unless you're an illegal immigrant who is working under the table for less than minimum wage. And you get nothing, and they get half minimum wage. Yeah. And then you're fighting to keep them in this country because nobody's an illegal. Well, they're here taking your minimum wage job. Congratulations, you know. So the problem isn't the Black Friday element. The Black Friday is the consumer not paying attention to where the products that they're purchasing come from. And there does need to be a hashtag for Made in the USA. There really does. Because if it's made in the USA and we are enforcing our immigration laws, then we know that at least every employee that made that product in the United States was at least paid minimum wage. What's the point in having a minimum wage if you are then going to import slave labor effectively from other countries by just opening up your borders? Black Friday is my local Walmart. At my local Walmart is just another day. No big crowds like back in the day. Yeah, I didn't go out of the house on Friday, so I can't speak to that. But it doesn't surprise me. Also, the whole cyber element has taken the doorbuster concept out of the package. What we talked about on Friday, the horror story that Aged Boomer was sharing from that one article, the person talking about everything he went through to get the deal that he deserved based on their advertisements, and the deal busting and all this kind of stuff, or, door busting and whatnot. You get there when the door opens and they're already out of the 2 individual items they had, potentially because a store worker actually bought took advantage of the product or whatever. Just flipping ridiculous. It's a scam that there is no benefit to. It has a short-term gain of getting a whole bunch of people in the store to potentially buy some other things they wouldn't get, but the impact it has on your workers and the turnover and the apathy from your employees because they become combat weary in 24 hours or less, it's just not worth it. And what you lose on the one product isn't worth any potential gains on other products when all things are considered. Then you have the liability on top of that, people being injured and in some cases killed because of trampling and fights that break out and all this kind of stuff. It's like, you know what? We'll turn it into an online sale and leave it at that. So then if you're going to Walmart, you're not going there for the deal. You got the deal online. If you're going to Walmart, you're going there maybe to pick something up that you had shipped to the Walmart, but probably not. If you purchase something on Black Friday from Walmart online, you're not going to pick it up on Friday. You're going to pick it up the following week probably. So you're still not going to have that crowd in the store. So you're only going to Walmart for the same reason you'd go any other day. I need to get this thing right now. And it's not, a gift. It's, whether it's a shopping item or, a tool that you need like right away or whatever. You ripped your pants, you need a new pair of pants. I don't know, something like that. That's why you're going to Walmart, Crazy hypotheticals I come up with. Who needs Netflix and chill? Well, when you already own your own physical media, and you're married, you can have those things anytime you want. I never went to a Black Friday or Cyber Mondays. That's very wise. Yeah, I can't think of... I've been to stores on Black Friday, but I've never gone for the Black Friday sale. There was never anything that I just absolutely positively had to get. Not this big screen that I'm looking at right now, but the one before it, my first big screen TV. I think we purchased it during a holiday season when things were on sale, but not specifically the crazy. Because here's my other thought when it comes to electronics. Am I sure that's actually a really good deal? sometimes cheap just means cheap. You know, sometimes you're willing to spend more for something if it's going to be quality. And if you don't have the time to do your research and, you know, check Consumer Reports or whatever, maybe it's not worth the deal and the headaches and the broken leg and arm, you know, that you're, you know, fighting over to get the thing. Yeah, Connie, hope you are doing better, certainly. Merry Christmas season from Samuel Proctor. Welcome. Good to see you. I haven't seen anyone use the hashtag since Trump's first term. Use a hashtag. They're still used for marketing reasons. That's about it. They're not necessary anymore, to be honest. Because if you go to X and you see, you know, on the side of your screen the scroll of, you know, keywords that people are looking at, they're not looking at hashtags. They're looking at words that come up in, you know, frequently that are being mentioned. So if a lot of people are talking about Trump, they don't have to say hashtag Trump. That word shows up in the search because they're looking at all the words that you posted. We bought it not at a sale time. It just happened to find a good price. Okay, that's what it was. I knew we had found a really good deal. I just didn't remember the details of it. We're talking double-digit years ago. I usually got the drawing course deals from artists I like on Cyber Mondays. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example of somebody who is not probably has no employees at all. They're not you know, taking advantage of slave labor unless, you know, you count working for yourself slave labor. It kind of can feel that way, and boy, I'll tell you, as someone who works for himself, I work for an asshole. But anyway, and I whip myself. There's no doubt about that. Figuratively speaking, not literally. You know, not like Opus Dei, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, but it's a marketing thing. Is all it really is. I'll be leaving here soon to get the paperwork done. There you go. Sharpening your skills as an artist. Yeah, there you go. And want to say hi to Janet from another planet. Welcome, who was gifted a membership last month. And so glad that you are here. We were just wrapping up, kind of winding down our conversation about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Last Friday, on Last Call, Boomer and I were talking about the history of Black Friday, how it started, what it escalated into, and how it's now more of a tradition than a legitimate whatever, and it's kind of morphed now. And now we're looking at Cyber Monday, of course, and how Black Friday has just become almost the pregame to Cyber Monday, and more than that, it's all morphed into what they're calling Cyber Week. Black Friday through Cyber Monday being 5 days, they consider that a week. I think that's. I think they should have called it Cyber Weekend, but you know, let the marketing guys do what they're going to do, and I think you have some of the same silly stupidity in the bait and switch marketing that they're doing, but with the benefit and, you know, potentially safety of you're not actually in a store getting into fisticuffs with people over the last Cabbage Patch doll, and you know, so there at least is that. I did find it interesting, though, that as I did my regular cyber shopping, you know, because I buy things online like everyone else does these days, some of the deals, I guess, fell under, you know, like Cyber Week or Cyber Monday or whatever Black Friday deal. And I'd put something in my cart and it would say hurry because there's only 2 left, and there's 2 in people's carts and stuff. And I'm like, sure there is. I wonder how many of these things are, they have their supply. It doesn't really matter, but they say that to convince you, artificial scarcity. This is what I've always said. Loss leader aside, if you have something that's on sale, I guess I should coach this even a little further. When something goes on sale, there is multiple reasons for it. One, it might be a loss leader. They're losing money on a really good deal because it'll get you in the store, and then maybe you'll buy some other stuff. Maybe you'll become a valuable ongoing customer, recurring customer. That's one thing. Another reason that things are put on sale, especially when it goes on clearance, is because they have too much of something and they want to get rid of it. Or they're discontinuing something. There won't be any more of it, but they do need to get rid of it to open up floor space for other products. But the other reason that they put things on sale is kind of like a loss leader, where they bring the price down on one thing, raise the price in another part of the store. It all evens out, but it gets you into the store, hopefully. Here's where the problem comes. If it's a decent enough price, people will buy up everything that's on the shelf. And now there's none, right? And now you are losing money because that product isn't on the shelf, and people might very well turn around and say, well, the reason I came in was for that, and turn around and leave. And if that happens enough times, they will stop coming to your store permanently. An empty shelf is always a bad thing in retail. So it behooves you to manage your stock to the best of your ability, using the best tools you have available to you. Janet says, one year I bought something, and when I went to put it together from Santa, there were 4 pieces missing. So I had to run back to the store, and the store ended up giving me the display model. Well, that's convenient. Probably because, see, okay, now this is the great thing about display models. Sometimes they will sell you display. You go in, no, we don't have any more, but we have the display model. We'll sell it to you for half price or something like that, whatever. In your case, to make up for, because otherwise you might just bring it back and say, I want my money back. They don't want to lose that sale. They're better off saying, I'll just give you the floor model. There's value to that. And do they need a floor model? They probably can't sell it the way it is. They could treat it as though it's a return and try to sell it the following week when the sale is over. But it's unlikely that it's gonna sell, so they're gonna have to mark it down anyway. It's not worth the effort. And what good is a floor model if there's no product that it's trying to sell? And the other thing too is with the floor model, it's already assembled. You can see that the part that you need is there. So there you go. So you go, okay, fine, I'll take it for parts. Even parts you have when they wear out and stuff. As long as you got the storage space for it. This mellowing of Black Friday, I think, could be a positive thing for our culture. Having stampedes of people clawing each other at stores the day after you gave thanks for it. Yeah, that's a great point. I don't think it makes us any less commercial, because look, going back to the 60s, Charlie Brown was talking about how commercial Christmas had become, right? So that element I don't think is ever going away. It's just shifting from in-store sales to the convenience of online sales. And keep in mind, that means a shift in not only our buying habits, but the jobs. If you work in retail, in a brick and mortar store, your job is in jeopardy because that job is going to be going away. Your Target, your Walmart, your whatever is in danger of closing down in the next 5 years. specifically because there will be less brick and mortar stores to make way for the more streamlined online sales. You might find yourself working as a delivery person or working in some warehouse, boxing stuff, shipping stuff, and so forth. Just something to keep in mind. And if you do work in retail, and see, I think that if you're here, you're probably one that understands this already. But if you're one of these neon colored haired kids, that doesn't really want a job, just wants the money, and you're lazily, eye rolling through your day at your retail store, and you don't know anything, and you're not willing to help, you're driving customers away because they're saying, what is the value of coming into the store if I can't get any service? I might as well just buy it online. And you will be out of a job by the following year with that kind of an attitude, along with all of your coworkers. What you have is a bit of an irony. Yeah, for lack of a better word, sure. And Jacen Fawkes of 540 Studios, welcome, my friend. Oh, no. It's this guy. Hail, last call. Yeah, hail, Jacen Fawkes. Good to see you, my friend. Also, having been gifted a channel membership, good to see you, my friend. Every time you use a cashierless checkout to check yourself out, you're getting rid of them. That's right. You're kicking them out of the store. They don't need full-time employees anymore. Let me tell you, I have never used self-checkout. And every time someone suggests to me that I use self-checkout, I say, are you going to pay me for the extra work that I am doing? No, you're not going to give me a discount because I'm using self-checkout? Then why should I bother? Either you have somebody check me out, or I'll just buy this stuff online. If I'm going to do self-checkout, I'll do it online. And you will be out of work. And I tell people this every time they say, self-checkout is open. Yeah, it is. Do you want to have a job tomorrow? Just asking. Just asking. Problem is, they all know that too. But they still have a job to do. And that's part of it. And that's very, very sad. But if you look into the statistics, there have been studies on this. Those self-checkouts are resulting in much higher theft rates. Shocker, I know. Who could have seen that coming, right? If I go in and they do not have a cashier, I tell them I'm leaving, and they always get someone. Yep. They will. Even if the manager has to go open up that checkout. You may not have been here for this, but on more than one occasion, actually, I went on a rant about going into, and this was like shortly after the whole pandemic-y thing and whatnot, plandemic. Netter and I returned to Steak and Shake. We used to go to Steak and Shake every Sunday for lunch. We loved their burgers. We loved their fries, particularly the chili cheese fries with the onions and the things. Love that stuff. Well, it used to be we'd go in, we'd wait to be seated, we'd be seated. A very nice hostess would come and, take our orders, make sure we had everything we needed, bring us refills, stuff like that. Now you go in and you're ushered to a kiosk where you put in your order. And then you go to a counter and you get a number. And then you go and sit, and then your number is called, and you get up and get it yourself and come back. And then you go get your own drink. And you have a code to put into the damn soda machine. I'm like, this is for the frickin' birds. And when I paid my tab, the manager, because it's just the manager and the cooks in back, do you want to leave a tip? Leave a tip for whom? For the AI computer kiosk? Screw that bullcrap. I didn't receive service. You should be tipping me for getting my own damn food. We never went back. We have never gone back to Steak and Shake. And when Steak and Shake would be razzing, what's it called? This other company that just recently had the big scandal, the country one, Cracker Barrel. They were razzing Cracker Barrel on their social media. Every time I would see them do that, I would go on and say, well, at least they still have table service. You know? I mean, you're not better, guys. You're not. Maybe you should be careful who you're pointing fingers at. Use cash if you have it, because every time you use a credit card or a debit, they are pushing you towards a cashless society. Not only that, and I don't think people realize this. It's just like when you give a super chat here on YouTube. You know, YouTube takes a third of it. Well, every time you pay for something with a credit card, there's a fee that the store or restaurant or whoever you're paying has to pay out for that transaction. Plus, you're paying interest on it. So you're paying more too, to somebody who just took your money and gave it to somebody else. That's what they did, you know? So there's that element of it too. But, and the scan to get a soda refill thing, that didn't really work. And that was the other thing. The frickin' thing didn't even friggin' work. That's the other problem. This is what my grandmother always used to say about ATMs and all the other electronic things that were starting in her lifetime. She's like, this is just more electronics that can break down. You know? Look, when you have a physical human being as your teller or, you know, waiting on you or whatever, if that person gets sick or injured, you know, yes, they're still gonna, you know, make compensation for that, but they can be replaced in the short term by somebody else who can continue business as usual. You know, just whatever. Jonathan Conroy says my auto shop now has a fee if you pay by card, no fee for cash. That's annoying because they are passing along the fee, their own fee to you. I think that's bad business. That should be just a cost of doing business. And if you're going to pass that along to me, then maybe I shouldn't bother doing business with you. But I do understand it. And you know, the positive on that is it points out to you maybe you should be doing cash, right? It'll get you away from using the card and using cash instead. Cash is also a great way to stay on budget. If you know how much money you have to spend and you have it physically in your hand and you go to the store and you buy more than you've got, well, I'm not going over budget, so I'm not going to spend more than I have here in hand. So there is that element of it too. But the problem with auto shops is that's always money that you need to put on credit because it goes beyond your discretionary spending unless you have a significant savings that you can dip into. So again, I think it's bad pool for an auto shop to be doing that. Find yourself another auto shop. The Illuminati track you cash by the serial numbers through a sophisticated network of hidden scanners. I feel like there's a lot of context there that I'm missing, Booger. So, but I'll say, okay, sure. And too many chargebacks. Yes, there's that too. There is chargebacks. So there you go. That's Cyber Monday. Again, members, the big chill tonight because you chose it. I don't remember the details of that movie, so I'm going to have to refresh my memory tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And you guys know what we've got coming up for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys are absolutely wonderful. You always are. I want to thank Geek Flag with Nate Knows for the $2 super chat. You know, I tell you guys, You guys really do keep the lights on. It's looking like it's going to be even harder. That goal, those goals that I have, the 2,000 subscribers and 100 members by the end of the year, that's a minimum. That's just the first step to get solvent. And it's actually turning out to be insufficient now that I see how much things are going to be costing me in 2026. So guys, together we grow, and I'm counting on you. We got to make it happen, folks. So guys, I want to thank you so much. Please share out the stream. Tell your friends to subscribe to this channel. Get as many eyes on us as you can. And I want to thank you all so much. Get back to work. Have a great day. And hope to see you on the next one. Drink responsibly. Take care.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.